Well, I guess if you missed Rage Against the Machine when they just came through, you're not going to get to see them anytime soon because they just canceled their entire 2023 tour. And I think they canceled the remaining dates from this year.
Yeah, they're not doing any shows until he's completely healed up, and that's going to be a while.
You just saw them, yeah, when they came to
Yeah,
Romo
it was
Field?
awesome. Even though he was sitting down, it was still great.
Well, you might have seen one of their very last shows.
Yeah.
I got a letter yesterday from...
Guy Fieri's going to be beside himself. He went to like 10 shows. He just kept showing up at different...
seriously?
Yeah, he kept showing up at different Rage shows.
Well, did they play the Flavortown Arena? He's the mayor. Maybe he came by just as part of his official duties. But no, Zach De La Rocha tore his Achilles tendon on like their second night in Chicago. And then he sat down for a couple of shows. I think they are, I don't know if the MSG shows are behind them or we're ahead of them.
I think those are
I think they were still doing those if they're still ahead of them. But anyway, they announced that they're canceling all of their 2023 North American dates. He says that it's made it impossible for him to play more reunion shows because that's not a show and a guy that wants to sit down. You know, Dave Grohl is sitting up on a big throne with his leg in a cast. He can still do what he needs to do. And technically, you know, people were like, when we were talking about Post Malone, about whether or not he was going to cancel Cleveland or Detroit, you know, Mary was going to one, my daughter was going to the other. And people were like, well, Dave Grohl's up there, his leg. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't affect your singing.
Right.
A broken leg, Post Malone fractured ribs.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, and Zach De La Rocha, you know, Achilles tendon, holy Christ. That's how you know you're getting old. When you're on stage. He's not an athlete. You know, when you're on stage and you tear your Achilles tendon because you just kind of, you went the wrong way.
Yeah, you're jumping
You tweaked
a little
it.
too vigorously.
He said it's been almost 3 months since Chicago, and I still look down at my leg in disbelief. Because these guys, you know, their reunion thing got pushed because of the pandemic. These guys, out of all the bands that have really tried to get the machine, if you'll pardon the pun, up and running again, Rage has had a tough time, boy.
Well, I was just happy that I got to Rage Against the Machine at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
I'll tell you what, if there's one machine against which you can properly rage, it's Rocket Mortgage. He has a severe tear in his left Achilles tendon. Listen, I saw someone's Achilles tendon hurt in a documentary one time called Pet Cemetery.
Gross.
And it was not pretty.
It
was this tiny little...
I think in Hostel, the documentary Hostel, there's
yes.
a Achilles tendon.
Yep. Pet
and
Cemetery had
Poundcake's favorite movie, Troy.
Oh, is there really? And he gets down there,
Yeah,
right?
that's Achilles.
Achilles.
Yeah.
That's where it all begins.
Right.
God, I never thought I could fantasize more about two men fighting than Orlando Bloom and Brad Pitt. I can tell you, but...
Did you ever see the guy who can't pronounce Achilles on Wheel of Fortune?
No.
Does he say Achilles?
No, he says, let me find it here for you. He says, no, he doesn't say that. And because he mispronounced it, there was a lot of controversy because he mispronounced it. They said they can't give it to you because that's not the guy. But clearly, for a spelling competition, which is what Wheel of Fortune is, he knew what the answer was.
$6.50. Why? There's a why.
Let me find where he wants to solve it.
Mythological hero Achilles.
Can't accept that.
Okay.
Shelby.
I'll solve.
Yeah.
Mythological hero Achilles.
Yeah, that's it.
Even she didn't nail it.
Achilles.
That's annoying.
That's probably just a regional accent. That guy is standing there wearing, this was college week. You know, because he is part of this show and because he is the most recent college graduate among us, it seems like I hammer Poundcake for being a college graduate. An inordinate amount.
There's only 2 college graduates on this show.
3. Oh, 2.
No.
Mary didn't.
Mary
dropped
dropped
out.
out
Bill
to
didn't
follow
go.
her dreams.
Yeah.
I dreamt my dream was to not go to college.
He followed his dream.
Accomplished his.
Poundcake and I graduated college. You'd never know it to hear either of us wax poetic on the world around us. You'd never know either of us had any kind of formal training in anything.
Poundcake's the one that is using his degree for his job.
Correct.
But
But anyway, this guy, Achilles, is wearing an Indiana University sweatshirt. That's my wife's alma mater. And the girl who got Achilles, Texas A&M. The Aggies, right? Texas A&M? Is that where Manziel went?
I think so, yeah.
Anyway, Achilles, man. Listen, you're not taught every single thing in college, but I am constantly fascinated by the things that are fully
slip by.
off people's radar.
Yeah.
Like,
Well-
you never read any mythology in a creative writing class or in a lit class or
Humanities, maybe.
humanities, something.
was-
The humanity.
I was probably in college, high school, college. We play catchphrase at my family Christmas get-together every year, okay? And the word that showed up on catchphrase when I got it is a word I had never seen before that I was trying so hard to describe.
Do you remember what it was?
It was yarmulke.
Yeah.
And
You'd never seen it spelled.
I had never seen it spelled. Yamulke.
Yarmulke.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like, what is this?
By
like,
the
I'm
way-
trying to figure it out.
Yom Kippur for our
Yes.
Jewish listeners.
So I was
Today.
trying to describe like the letters in it, and my sister's like, "It's yarmulke. I know it's yarmulke," and I'm like, "This does not say yarmulke. There's no way that this says
Right.
yarmulke." And then afterward, I showed it, and she's like, "Yes, I said it 15 times." We ended up like losing that round.
I'm going to show you this word, and you tell me that says yarmulke.
I was like, "There's no way. There's a 0% chance this word is yarmulke."
That's right. One of my favorite Todd Barry jokes. You've worked with him many times.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago.
One of my favorite Todd Barry jokes from years ago is seeing a guy with a yarmulke that looked like a slice of watermelon. Remember that joke?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
And he goes,
I
I'm
do.
pretty sure if God is cool with your fun summer watermelon yarmulke, he's probably also cool with no yarmulke. So take that off, put it on the picnic table, slap a glass of lemonade on it,
What was
and
that?
have fun.
What was that first Todd Barry album? Was it Happy Thoughts?
No, it was.
It's a Daniel Tosh.
It
Oh, that's
was
it. Yeah, that's
To the
it.
Bone,
Yeah.
right? Or Off the Bone, because there was Medium Energy. There was Falling Off the Bone. I think was the first Todd Barry album.
That's it. Saw a lady with a smiley face tattoo. She said,
said-
no, that's a picture of the man that killed my baby.
Baby. That's a police sketch of the man
That's
who
right.
stole my daughter. Oh, well, I'll be on the lookout for a smiley face with bright yellow skin.
Medium Energy was the first one. Falling Off the Bone was 2000.
Oh, it was really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Medium Energy is the one I think we're talking about.
Okay. Well, they're all old. Like Super Crazy is like 10, 11 years old.
That's 10 years old, yeah.
But Todd Barry, very funny.
Very funny.
Jim Tooze hangs out with Todd Barry all the time, and he was saying they were at the, it's like a hotel bar in New York, and they're just having drinks, and there's all these comics there, like hanging out with like Bo Burnham and stuff like that, and then Chris Rock comes and sits down with them, and they just have like an hour-long conversation, and he said Chris Rock like bought all their drinks, and I was like, see, it's okay to live in New York, because he's always like, should I move back? I'm like, nah, stay there.
Oh, Tooze is.
Yeah.
it's
Move back to where?
expensive.
Here?
Like move
It's-
here or Pennsylvania, because there's
Chris
a lot
Rock
of
ain't
stuff.
buying your drinks in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know that.
Twice a year he will.
Like,
That's so cool.
Hey, man, you bought my drinks in New York. Cool. See you later.
Bye.
I mean, but they sat there for an hour, and
Yeah, that's awesome.
they just the Bowery, I think Bowery Ballroom, is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bowery Ballroom.
Jim Tooze is who recommended me to Todd Barry. He's the reason
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I work with him in the Midwest.
Right.
I think the move is to buy Chris Rock's drinks.
No, he has private jet money. I'm not paying for anything for you.
Well, it's not about money.
It is.
It's about taking care of somebody. Hey, let me get that.
Oh, God, who has a bit
I used to
about
like
this?
doing that all the time. And when I had
Oh.
zero money in this business and somebody of weight would come through and do the show, I'd be like, hey, if I'd go to their show or whatever, I'd be like, let me get your drinks.
Chris Porter is a very funny comic. He has a bit about this where he is friends with Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
And they were out at a bar or whatever, and Mumford and Sons were at a few tables over. And Justin Verlander's like, oh, send them a bottle of your finest champagne, yada, yada, something like that. And then Chris Porter, he looks at him about splitting the check, and he goes, no, you fly private. This doesn't even come out. This doesn't even register on your bank account. If I try to pay for something, I can't buy shoes next month. So
I'm going to give the waitress 2 credit cards and ask her to put half on each is what I'm going to do.
Because he's like, when you get to, because he hangs out with like Verlander and Chris Rock or Kid Rock.
Well, if you're doing it all the time, I was on the air in Kalamazoo, and once in a while somebody would come through, and I could try to be a cool guy and flex.
In Kalamazoo.
Yes.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
he's in LA with
Right.
these, and he's friends with a couple like big bands, and he's like, yeah, I'm not paying for this. Like, if you would like to fly me to Vegas and put me up, sure, I'll go out with you for the weekend.
Right.
But I'm absolutely not paying $12,000 a night for the penthouse suite. You're out of your mind.
Yeah. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. You can always leave us voicemails there. It is 216-986-8903.
Alan, Caleb, and Kent. I don't know if it's something to be proud of or ashamed of, but I'm pretty solidly in the P1 category. Since you guys have moved downtown, it was obviously celebrated. I was there on the first day, kind of drunk on the sidewalk. But since then, I realized that something has just not been right in my life. It's just something seems off, and I think I finally put my finger on it today. I have not heard a voicemail from Brian playing horrible guitar riffs, I believe, since he went downtown. I need somebody to look into that. Love you, bye.
Yeah, Brian still calls. You know, that girl calls all the time, the girl that we refer to as the caller. Again, every morning I will check the After Hours inbox, and it's a good 24 voicemails from that girl. And I don't take the time to synthesize them into anything listenable every day. But Brian still calls. Caleb?
This is Brian. The rook moves in L's.
You switched up his sound a bit.
Yeah, still miss him?
Seeing this place with a new set of eyes can make you feel lost. Lost in this paradox with thoughts of doubt that does not need to exist. Once someone takes the lead and reaches out to everyone in the dark, will you follow if someone leads the way?
Oh, my God.
You
broke a toenail on that one.
Do you actually interact with DJ Cummerbund?
Do I?
Like, do you?
I have.
I've had back and forth with him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Can you send him that singing?
Oh, yeah, I could. Well,
And
a
just be
DJ
like-
Jake C, I would rather send it to him.
Okay.
Cummerbund seems very, very busy. I can. I like how...
DJ Jake C, but I just want to see if somebody can actually make something
Do something,
of that.
yeah.
Sure.
Because, I mean, maybe the singing's not the best, but the lyrics.
Oh!
Fantastic.
They're so insightful, and I'm not really a lyrics guy, but those ones just speak to me.
I like how our buddy Taint Smasher got a write-up from his Beavis and Butthead electronic drums. He has electronic drums, and I don't know what kit he's got, like an Alesis or something, and he just has his triggers set. The first one, if you follow him, I think he's Real Fake Miles on Instagram.
Yeah.
And
Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
And the first one he did, I don't remember, what was the first?
The first one he
trigger
did
one
was
he did?
Tim Allen.
He did Crying Jordan Peterson.
Well, that was the newest
Tim
one.
Allen, yeah.
Tim Allen was the first one, and then he did the Beavis and Butthead one, and then he did Crying Jordan Peterson, which really made me laugh because he loses it at one point, and it's very funny.
Here, I'll play you the Beavis and Butthead.
Diarrhea, dumbass. Cool. Bunghole. Fire.
I mean, it's partially visual, too, because...
Yeah, you got to see him playing the drums.
The Crying Jordan Peterson's good, too.
too terrifying, too brutal. God. Sad. Clean up your room.
We gotta get to where he goes. That's a lot.
40 million pornographic images. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
An electronic drum kit made entirely of sounds from the many, many, many times that Canadian rabble-rouser and fake intellectual Jordan Peterson broken down into sobs. So anyway, I think that's very, very funny. I like that a lot. But I'll send this. I've had this clip of this dude, this bad singer. I've had it for 100 years, and I don't. I'm sure I can send it to somebody. DJ Cummerbund on that B-52s tour, by the way, that I ended up selling my tickets for, that happened in D.C. this past weekend. And all weekend long, I'm lying to you if I don't tell you that every so often I'd look at Gwen and I'd go, we could be in D.C. watching the B-52s. We had a busy weekend, so it turned out that it was a very good thing that we didn't go. But yeah. I'm not even really salty about it because I got my money back. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't take a couple $100 dive and then just bounce around seats?
No, I did not do that.
That's
No,
nice.
I said, give me the Mary Santora Post Malone package where I pay for 4 tickets and use 2. I got to take a break. Hey, I'll have Carnival of Horrors passes for you. If you want to get to Carnival of Horrors down Canton Way, right? They'll scare you. Why not? A couple of passes for that. And I'll have those In Flames tickets for you a little bit later on, too. Carnival of Horrors is at the Stark County Fairgrounds down there in Canton, so we'll do that coming up. 35192 if you want to text, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free